I'm confident in myself. Like, I'm not focusing on him. I just know what I can do, and I can't wait to show it. I'm not going to crumble. I'm solid. I've been through wars, and I'm still standing super strong.
Have you lost your mind? This is Anthony Joshua that you just called out. You're fighting Anthony Joshua in less than a month. Why are you doing this?
I like to challenge myself. I like to take on the biggest, the best. I said anyone, anytime, any place. I truly mean that.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Let's go!
Anthony Joshua looks Jake Paul in the eyes and warns him hard. He makes it clear that he is coming into this fight like a real champion, not a celebrity trying to get attention. Joshua says he feels more confident than ever because his skills come from many years of real boxing. He explains that true experience can't be faked. He also shares that he's been training with some of the best coaches in the world, working on his basics, improving his combos and getting ready for anything Jake might try. To Joshua, this isn't just a normal fight, it's a message. He wants to show Jake Paul the huge difference between a YouTuber boxer and a real heavyweight fighter.
I align myself with some of the greatest coaches and greatest fighters in the world because I have that hunger, that desire. Every time I've been knocked down or been in trouble when I was younger, came back 3 years later, got to the Olympics, get in trouble again before the Olympics, 3 years later, become world champion after 16 fights. Win all the belts, get beat by Ruiz, come back and unify the division for the second time. It's just constantly drives my focus and my hunger to get better. So I'm going to be a tough man to break down 100% come December 19th because I've been building myself over the last year. I ain't been sitting back. I've been working.
For Joshua, this fight is a big chance to make a strong comeback. He used to be a two-time heavyweight champion and an Olympic gold winner, but he hasn't fought since Daniel Dubois knocked him out in September 2024. When he announced this fight, Joshua said he would show no mercy. He called it a huge event and promised to break the internet by beating Jake Paul. On the other side, Jake Paul has a 12-1 record with 7 knockouts, but most of his wins came against smaller MMA fighters or older boxers. Paul says that if he can beat Joshua, people will stop doubting him, and it could help him get a chance at a world title.
Thank you for having me. Well, you got to give credit to Jake and his team. They reached out to me, to be fair, and it was a great opportunity for me. So it's an opportunity for me to fight. I wanted to take 12 months out the game, and I'd done that. And then it was time to get back to work, so I was planning on fighting anyway. And actually, I would have been fighting this weekend if I had it my way. And this opportunity presented itself, and I said, yeah, why not? It's great. I think it's massive. It's colossal. It's making big news. We're bringing marketability together with ability. Those two worlds collide. You got Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, and we're here in Miami. We're bringing Europe, Africa, Asia, Nigeria, the whole world together to watch this show on Netflix. It's going to be phenomenal, and that's how we ended up here, basically. Two guys that just want to put on a good show.
But this fight is filled with problems, questions, and arguments. Some people say Joshua is risking his reputation by fighting Jake Paul, because many in the boxing world don't see Paul as a real heavyweight boxer. Former champion and commentator Johnny Nelson said Joshua is in a no-win situation. If Joshua easily wins, people will say it was supposed to happen. But if the fight takes too long or looks close, people might claim he hurt his legacy.
Who do you got, Jake Paul or Anthony Joshua?
Anthony Joshua.
By far?
Yeah. Too easy.
Why did he take that fight?
I think he didn't have no opponents and he wanted to make Netflix happy, and I think he made a misstep. I think he was handling his career perfectly. Yeah. I think he would have beat Gervonta.
I think he would have beat Gervonta too.
But I think this is a big misstep. I think he let his ego get in from him and let the fans decide.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make me look? He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me two-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on. Like, you can't be serious. He can't beat me. I'm not Anthony Joshua, am I? So it's just ludicrous. It really is.
Ryan Garcia talks about how losing this fight could change Jake Paul's life. He says Joshua's power is no joke, and a loss could hurt Paul not just physically, but also his reputation and future career. Garcia explains that this fight is a huge challenge for Paul and could teach him some tough lessons. He adds that Joshua's strong punches and skills make this a very serious test, and the results of losing are real. Garcia says Paul must train hard, stay focused, and understand the danger Joshua brings to the ring.
In my opinion, I think that this has been a misstep from Jake. I think he wanted to make his partners at Netflix a little too happy, and he's gonna walk into it. But look he loses to AJ. Where does he go from here? Who does he fight? You're gonna go back down to 135 after
The problem is not that he loses to AJ. The problem is the way he's gonna lose to AJ might be life changing.
right.
So that's the real issue.
It could be life changing in many ways, right? Physical.
Yeah, yeah.
See what he did in Nagano. It's like, but then again, if he gets knocked out, he gets knocked out. Nobody really expects anything.
Making things even more worrying, former champion George Groves said the fight might look fake unless Joshua destroys Jake Paul fast. Groves said that if Joshua doesn't knock Paul out in the first 30 seconds or early in the first round, many fans will start to think something suspicious is going on.
Is Jake Paul still trying to convince people that he's a legitimate boxer? He's not a legitimate boxer. You've picked someone who was a professional boxer, whose dad was a legend of professional boxing. You might as well pick someone from Love Island or something. He does make a mockery of boxing. He wants to fight a welterweight, then a heavyweight, then it's a featherweight. And ultimately, what he wants to do is not have a real fight. I think he genuinely believes he's a boxer. He's not fighting any current boxer.
On the other hand, Joshua's team expects a quick and powerful win. Eddie Hearn boldly says that Jake Paul will be finished within 4 rounds, and that once Joshua lands one clean punch on Paul's chin, the fight will end. Hearn explains that this match is important for Joshua to rebuild his image and maybe set up an even bigger fight in 2026, possibly against someone like Tyson Fury. Once again, the focus is turning back to top-level heavyweight boxing.
So, obviously, AJ versus Jake Paul. Not gonna lie, did not ever see this happening, ever, ever, ever. So, were you just as surprised when he agreed to do it as the world was?
Yeah, I mean, I had to deal with obviously knowing that it might happen, and then the contract coming through signed by Jake Paul, and I sort of looked at it. I was like, oh my god, he's done it. So yeah, look, I have to give him credit. I do think he's crazy. I think he's got absolutely no chance. I think he's going to get smashed to pieces.
Do you think Jake's crazy?
Yeah, I mean, totally. I mean, listen, for us, we received an offer that was massive money and a really easy fight. We were talking about fighting this week here in an 8-round fight. Now we're fighting in an 8-round fight for 40 times more money against Jake Paul. So I love the opportunity for AJ on so many levels. I think it's a straightforward fight, massive profile, and especially in the US. So we can go back into 2026 all guns blazing with Turk El-Sheikh, and the plans to hopefully fight Tyson Fury. But in the meantime, we get to wrap our hands, go out there, build the profile a little bit, smash up Jake Paul, make a fortune, and on we go. So, yeah, for us, we were very pleased.
For this fight, Joshua has to wear smaller 10-ounce gloves. This change is meant to make the fight more exciting for fans and the media, while still keeping the punches a little controlled. But even with these gloves, experts say Jake Paul is still in real danger. Joshua's power is well known, and with less padding, the chances of a knockout are even higher. The gloves might be a small technical change, but they don't fix the big difference in strength, skill, and experience between the two fighters. Every punch Joshua throws will still matter a lot.
This is going on people's records. AJ got to take him serious because this isn't some exhibition. We're running out some judges to act like there's a decision and someone won. No, someone's going to win, someone's going to lose here. It's 8 rounds, 3-minute rounds. Again, heavyweight, pro bout, 10-ounce gloves. AJ talking about breaking internets over faces. I think he meant to say breaking his face on the internet. Who knows? Maybe you can do both in the big 2025. But then you have the weight limit, 245 pounds. And people are automatically going to go, oh, God, here's the thing. Oh, here's the thing in the contract. No, stop all that. And I'm going to go on a rant in a second for all the people that thought this was fake, for all the people that thought that Jake wouldn't do this, For all the people that thought he was scared, I'm going to go on that rant in a second. But, okay, yes, 245 is a weird number because Jake has already fought at heavyweight. He fought Mike Tyson at 220-something. But again, I understand it a little bit. We're on short notice here. You don't want to have a Tyson Fury type situation, which AJ would never be 290 coming in here. But 260, 270, it starts to get out of the realm of possibility of, like, what are we doing?
Meanwhile, the Wade Concept warned that the fight between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul might not be as easy as people think. In their breakdown, they say Jake Paul shouldn't be treated like a joke. They claim Joshua can be slow and stiff, and that his chin isn't great. They think Paul's speed, youth, and unusual style could give Joshua real trouble if Joshua takes him lightly. They also say Jake Paul might have some surprises ready and isn't treating the fight the same way others expect. According to Wade, Paul seems to see this match more like a big show than a serious, professional fight. But that mindset might actually help him. They believe Paul isn't overthinking, which means he might fight with wild confidence, fast timing, and his strange style instead of a normal boxing plan. That unpredictability, something regular heavyweights don't have, could catch Joshua off guard and make Paul dangerous, even though most people see him as the underdog.
All right, so we are back on The Wade Concept presented by The Ring Magazine, and today I'm starting to question myself. What is the possibility that Jake Paul might not be as easy of a fight for Anthony Joshua as I previously thought? What if Jake makes this a little more difficult than we imagined? I'm not trying to talk nonsense, and I'm not even trying to be a contrarian. I am just looking at what I have seen in the last couple of days, and it's starting to make me wonder. Am I wrong about Jake versus AJ? Not like I think Jake will win the fight, because I think that's nonsense, but something's going on, and I can't quite figure it out. But Jake has a secret weapon. Apparently he has a couple of them, and I'm about to expose them right here for you guys, and then I want you to decide, what do you think? Will this help him? Will these secret weapons, will these things he was trying to keep quiet, will they help him beat AJ, or is it too little too late, both figuratively and literally? What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go. But folks, before we get into the breakdown, I want to say a big thank you to the sponsor of today's video, First Form. That's right, folks. First Form is one of the most trusted supplement companies in the United States and a brand I personally use every day. First Form makes high-quality, third-party tested products designed to help you perform better, recover faster, and look and feel your best. Whether you're trying to build muscle, lose fat, or just get your nutrition dialed in, they've always got something that fits. And what I love about First Form is that their products actually work. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, just real results. And like I said, everything's third-party tested, so you know whatever's on the label is exactly what you're getting. And my personal favorites from First Form is this Formula 1 Whey Isolate post-workout protein, or the Micro Factor that I take on a daily basis, which is an incredible vitamin pack that's designed to support immunity, overall health, energy, cellular function. You got it all covered. And for you guys, I have an exclusive deal when you click the link in the description. Buy any First Form product today, and you'll get a 5-pack of First Form protein sticks for free with your order. Once again, click the link in the description. Get your products from First Form today and get a First Form protein stick pack of 5 for free with your order. And trust me, you will thank me later. They are that good. So thank you to First Form for sponsoring this video. And one more time, make sure you guys click that link in the description and get your products today. Now, let's get back to the breakdown. All right, so like I said, Jake Paul got a couple of tricks up his sleeve for this Anthony Joshua fight. Now, again, does it matter what Jake does when we're talking about a fight that was just booked a week and a half ago and now is about 3.5 weeks from happening? Can you get good enough, as prepared as you need to be for an Anthony Joshua fight if you're Jake Paul, who hasn't fought someone in the top, realistically, the top 50? I know Tommy Fury is ranked in the top 50, but anyone that is a top 50 fighter, even in your weight class, let alone a top 10, top 5 heavyweight in Anthony Joshua, who was a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. Can you get prepared for a guy like that if you brought in, let's just say, a deity, freaking Zeus, Hercules, whoever, to prepare you? Could you do it? I don't think that Jake would have enough time, seeing as he's already undersized. He's not a real heavyweight, and this is Anthony and Joshua we're talking.
Their comments connect to a bigger doubt many people in boxing already have. Some experts, like Tim Bradley, say this fight is dangerous for Joshua because he might not be fully mentally ready after his injuries and losses. Joshua also has to lose a lot of weight to reach the 245-pound limit, and some think this could weaken his usual power. Influencer Harrison Sullivan talks about the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight and says he doesn't even want to bet on it. He predicts Joshua could win in 2 rounds, but he still thinks the matchup is kind of crazy because the skill levels are so different. He also says the press conference was quiet with almost no trash talk, and Jake Paul seemed very respectful toward Joshua. Sullivan thinks Paul is acting this way because he knows he's facing a much better fighter, kind of like going up against a prime Mike Tyson. Overall, he thinks the fight is unpredictable but still strongly in Joshua's favor. He points out how different Paul's attitude is this time, showing he understands the seriousness of fighting a real top-level boxer.
Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Your thoughts on this fight?
I wouldn't bet on it myself because I just think it's dodgy. Because if I was thinking in my head and I was betting on it, I'd bet AJ within 2 rounds and I'd put a lot of money on it. But I'm a gambling man actually. I'm a gambling addict, and I need help. But yeah, I'm not even gambling on this one. I'm leaving it out.
How do you see it going?
Don't know. Could go anyway, just because I just think it's a bit mad.
Did the press conference surprise you? How it seemed like a little tame. There wasn't much trash talk. AJ didn't seem like overly excited.
No, to be honest, I don't watch boxing presses normally, so I don't know if that's AJ's character, if he's just a humble guy in general. I feel like he probably is. I don't know though. Do you know?
He's normally. He is. But I was surprised that Jake Paul didn't sort of try and play his mind games. Jake Paul was sort of playing nice almost in that presser, compared to how he compares against in other press conferences.
He's talking to a fucking proper fella, innit? If it was proper, he'd get weighed in. So I think even he's got a bit of, I don't know, just a bit of humility on that situation. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a very confident guy, but if I was fighting someone who was better than me, you know, like way better, like in a different league, I probably wouldn't be as much of a. I don't know, like if I was fighting someone like Mike Tyson in his prime. But if I was fighting someone in the modern day, like, I don't know, Tyson Fury or something, or Tommy Fury, whoever, like any of these pros, I'd be normal.
You'd be more humble.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be normal with them types of fellas. But Mike Tyson in his prime, I'd be a little bit humble, do you know what I mean? One of them ones, but anyway.
At first look, this fight is a huge gamble. On one side, you have Anthony Joshua, an Olympic-level boxer with strong punching power, long reach, and many years of top experience. On the other side is Jake Paul, a loud social media fighter with far fewer real boxing rounds, known more for show than skill. Many experts and fans think Paul is at a big disadvantage. This fight might be more about entertainment than legacy, but it still has a lot on the line. For Joshua, a big win could put him back among the best. But if he looks weak, it could hurt his reputation. For Paul, a surprise win would boost his name, but a loss could make people doubt crossover boxing even more. In the end, this fight is a high-risk, high-reward test for both men. It's a gamble of pride, legacy, money, and skill. When the bell rings, all the talk and predictions will finally be answered in the ring.
Jake is fine, AJ.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to give him props. Fair play, Jake. That is a big fight.
Props.
I mean, AJ should knock him out.
It is a weird one. Like, am I just being stupid? Like, is he not just going to wig him?
AJ
like,
by soap being dropped in prison. So AJ by brutal Bonnie Blue scene. AJ by just something vile.
Him even stepping up to fight AJ.
AJ 2-time heavyweight world champion.
Who do you support, Joshua or Paul?